Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you.
The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest. The William Pace Show, asking the questions you want to ask, getting the answers everyone wants to know. It's a new season of the William Pace Show. We're raising the bar with more commitment to educate, inform, encourage, inspire, empower, and help you have your best life. Everyone deserves to have their best life. I'm just staying the course. Here we go.
Good evening, I'm William Pace. Thanks so much for tuning us in tonight. As you know, we always start the show out by reading letters from the viewers, and I just love this part of the show. To write to the William Pace Show, write to P.O. Box 3644, Dayton, Ohio 45401. That's P.O. Box 3644, Dayton, Ohio 45401. If your letter is chosen to be read on the air, you'll receive a gift from the William Pace Show. The first letter comes from Joyce, and she says, Dear William, I recently discovered your show on Channel 51. I didn't realize that your show is a local one. You're really very polished and very professional. The restaurant segments are just wonderful, and you're singing fabulous. Sincerely, Joyce. Well, thank you very much, Joyce, for writing, and we're going to give you a box of Esther Price fine chocolates for writing. The next letter comes from Gina Olis, and she says, Dear William, with so much doom on TV, it was really a refreshing change to catch your show. With the upcoming holidays, I was feeling a bit depressed. Your segment on the children receiving coats and your superb singing really cheered me when I needed it most. Sincerely, Gina. Thank you very much, Gina, for writing, and we're going to give you a box of Esther Price fine chocolates. Our last letter comes from Lily McDowell of Fairborn. Dear Mr. Pace, just a note to say how much I appreciate your wonderful show. You are a talented guy. Would you sing me Over the Rainbow on a future show? A devoted fan, Lily McDowell. Well, thank you very much, Lily, for writing, and we're going to give you also a box of Esther Price fine chocolates. I'd like to talk to you about the William Pace Happy Holiday Fund. This is our second year for the William Pace Happy Holiday Fund, and we're raising financial contributions, and this is how you can play a part in helping us. We're looking for financial contributions, toys, clothing, or we're just looking for people to be volunteer to help distribute some of the items to people at Christmas time. Dayton Band is one of our sponsors of the William Pace Happy Holiday Fund, and they've given us this beautiful guitar, and we are raffling it away on the air just for $1. For $1, you could be the winner of this beautiful guitar. So stop in today at Dayton Band on North Main Street and ask for Bob, and ask to purchase a raffle ticket for $1, and you could be the winner. All the proceeds go to the William Pace Happy Holiday Fund, which will bring cheer to people at Christmas time. There's more to come on the William Pace Show. Stay with us.
To write to the William Pace Show, write to Post Office Box 3644, Dayton, Ohio 45401. If your letter is chosen to be read on the air, you'll receive a gift from the William Pace Show.
The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest.
Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you.
Got a little opening day deer harvest news from Ohio. Of course, very warm weather, and you may have already heard that the deer count is down this year. Let's see. Although it is up here in the Miami Valley. But the overall deer kills for Ohio have been down this year, and it's kind of funny. Jim Barrett passed me along.
Hello, I'm William Pace. Thanks so much for tuning us in tonight. Several weeks ago, I was sort of the voice of the day on the Dan McDowell show, and I thought it was just the cutest thing since homemade ice cream, so I thought I would have him as my special guest tonight. Thank you so much for coming on.
Wow, cute as homemade ice cream.
Homemade ice cream.
Well, you're welcome, William. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to be on the William Pace Show.
Well, thank you. I didn't realize you were such a fan of the William Pace Show. And tell me, how did you had heard that? I didn't hear it on the radio, the Voice of the Day clip, but I had heard that you had taken a clip from one of the road shows I did in Milwaukee or something like that. Right.
Well, I'll tell you how it came about. I had heard a lot about the William Pace Show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why I'm here today, because the William Pace Show is big in the city of Dayton. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. That's all. I just want to be a tiny cog in the huge machine that is the William Pace Show.
Mm-hmm.
But one day I'm flipping around the dials, and you know how you do that. You got like 8,000 stations, and there's never anything to stop on, and you flip real fast. But I noticed there's one station that I could never flip by, and that is the William Pace. I mean, it's entrancing. When you're on, when I flipped, and all of a sudden I saw you singing in a tuxedo. I was entranced. I immediately got a videotape and hooked it up, and I started taping the William Pace Show.
I didn't realize I had that kind of power.
Yeah. Huh? Oh, you absolutely do. I'm sure somebody right now was just flipping around the dials, just kind of asleep, you know, midnight type thing, or early Sunday evening, and they just jumped and said, "Wow!" And they have to watch. It's not like you want to watch the William Pace Show. You have to. There's some kind of a mind thing that you have going on with the audience, I think. But
well,
so we stopped on the William Pace Show, and I saw you singing, and it was great. I think you were singing Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah, it took me a long time to memorize those lyrics. I was on the plane, and I was trying to Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. So finally I got the words memorized, the lyrics memorized. But
the toughest thing for me was, I'm writing notes because I wanted to remember where my tape was and write a note about the William Pace Show and talk about it on my radio show the next day, which of course is 3 to 6 Monday through Friday on 1290.
Sure.
So little plug there.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to write down. I'm writing down William Pace, and I'm trying to write down what song you're singing. And I didn't have enough room on the paper or the knowledge of how to spell supercalifragilistic. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's a mouthful too.
Yeah.
I wonder who thought of those lyrics.
That's a good question. That's a good question for research on a future show.
So you took that clip.
So I took a clip of you talking, and this is something we do on the show just about every day on our radio shows. We'll play a little 10-second soundbite of somebody talking, and it's called "Who Said That?" Every day you call up, you win a prize. For instance, you can write the William Pace Show, and you'll send them a box of fantastic Esther Price candies, right? So you call up our show, and if you can identify the mystery voice, the "Who Said That?", then you win a prize each day. And usually they'll last about an hour. People will guess different things, or you know, it might even last through the whole 3 hours of the show. The William Pace "Who Said That?", immediately the phone lines lit up.
That's what I heard, that the lines were jammed or something.
And right away, somebody knew who it was. So that just showed how your voice is known throughout the city of Dayton.
Well, that's very touching to know that people are watching me and following me.
And listening. Yeah.
And listening, it really is.
And I should mention to you, you didn't get to hear the show, but the next day, I got a call off the air from an older gentleman, and he said, Dan, I really love your show. I listen to it all the time. I never really get the chance to call in. I'm not a call-in kind of guy, but I listen to you all the time. And I heard your William Pace yesterday, and he goes, that's my son. So
my father called in.
So your dad is a big listener to the Dan McDowell Show.
Yeah, my father is a big supporter of mine. He's been very helpful to me over the years. I want to talk a little bit about your background in broadcasting. You come from Cleveland, is that right?
Correct. Born and raised in Cleveland.
In Cleveland. And so
I can't root for the Cincinnati Reds or Bengals or anything like that.
Well, you still can root for the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, I'm not allowed to. I signed a piece of paper when I was a young kid.
I see. So
prohibited me from cheering for any Cincinnati teams.
You don't have that privilege anymore.
Right.
Okay. So you majored in broadcasting? Might I assume that?
Right. At Ohio University.
Ohio University. And you've been in broadcasting for how many years now?
Well, I guess since I started at OU, so about 10 years actually.
10 years.
Yeah.
And what made you want to go into broadcasting?
You know, I don't know. I was a young.
When did you get the broadcasting bug?
I was a young nerd, as well as being an older nerd. I was a young sports nerd, and I'd watch games on TV. And a friend of mine, another nerd, would announce, would have a little tape recorder, and we'd turn down the TV, and we'd announce a sports game on TV on our tape recorder. Luckily, those were destroyed a long time ago. Those tapes.
Time ago.
Yeah, but
I'd like to hear one of those tapes. Yeah. I bet your viewers would like to hear one of those tapes.
Yeah, like I said, they've been destroyed or hidden, so we won't pull them out.
Okay. So you started...
Did you used to do that kind of stuff?
Well, you know, it's interesting. You know, my parents, my father could tell you this, because, you know, I was like a compulsive talker as a kid. And I don't know how many times my folks would say, I told you to sit down and hush up. Because they had such a hard time in, getting me to just be quiet. You know, I was always, yep, all the time, you know.
Singing?
The singing was obvious as a little kid, because when I was 2 years old, I started singing at the Valley Grove Baptist Church here in town. So that was really obvious. What wasn't so... And it was, in retrospect, looking back, it was obvious that I would be in broadcasting too, because I was always talking as a kid. But it wasn't so obvious in my mind. And, you know, really, by accident, I double majored in college in music, voice performance, and communications mass media. That was... And I just kept taking courses in journalism and so forth, and just by accident ended up with a double major.
See, I think that's interesting. I think viewers of the William Pace Show often see you talking to a guest, but nobody ever gets to, listen to you talk about, how you've gotten to this point.
Well, it's quite a story.
Which is good to have a guy that does interviews on your show, because then you can get a little of your own story out
Well,
there.
you're going to turn the tables on me, huh?
I don't know.
A little bit.
If you let me.
No. But it is interesting, I think, how people get from one place to another. I think everyone has a journey to travel. When I think of Sally Jesse Raphael, I think, she was fired from this place and fired from that place and fired from this place. And she just kept going on and on and on. It didn't deter her. So I think everybody has a road to travel. And sometimes the road is shorter and sometimes it's a little bit longer, But there's
never
more.
a straight line.
No. And I think it's the journeys that is what it's all about. It's the journey, how we got there, and what we had to endure to get through those times. So tell me, when you've been in Dayton for 1 year, what do you think of the city of Dayton?
I love the city of Dayton. I think that most people that I talk to who are from the city of Dayton are kind of bitter about the city. They don't like downtown. This is too dirty. This is too crowded. The city, too many orange barrels. I think if you live in the city of Dayton and you were born here, and here's my advice: if you have vacation time coming up, let's say you have a couple of weeks vacation time, and you're from the city of Dayton, don't go to Hawaii, don't go to Jamaica or the Bahamas or one of these vacation paradises, because then you're going to come back and you're still going to be bitter about your hometown. Everything's the same. I'm going to advise you to go the last place I lived, which a year ago I came from Youngstown, Ohio. Okay? Now go visit Youngstown, Ohio, and you'll see Dayton hit by like an atomic bomb.
Wow.
What I'm saying is you will appreciate. I've lived in a lot of different cities around Ohio, Zanesville and Marietta and Athens and Youngstown and even Cleveland. And I appreciate Dayton, living in other places. People that were born and raised here a lot of times love to bash the town. They love to say negative things about the town. But if you have vacation time, go somewhere like Youngstown. Go, if it's winter, go to Fargo, North Dakota, where there's 80 feet of snow. And then you're going to come back and you will plant a big old, maybe a French kiss on the ground, the city of Dayton. You will love the city of Dayton so much.
You'll love Dayton after that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help out here.
Okay.
Trying to help the city.
More with Dan McDowell when we return. Stay with us.
Let's see. The fact that last year there was a total of 13 deer hunting incidents, including 3 fatalities. There's already been 2 fatalities this year. And 4 self-inflicted wounding incidents last year during the deer gun season. And the Ohio Division of Wildlife says...
To write to the William Pace Show, write to Post Office Box 3644, Dayton, Ohio 45401. If your letter is chosen to be read on the air, you'll receive a gift from the William Pace Show.
The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest.
Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you.
During every single day during December. That's really the only reason they hired Mighty Joe, because of my poor taste in music. I would play all... I've already talked about this. If I chose the music regularly, I'd choose all ABBA, all Bee Gees, and in Christmas I'd just play this song. I love it. So here's the deal.
We're back with Dan McDowell, and we were talking before break about Dayton, Ohio, and you know, I like Dayton, Ohio. You know, I'm very proud of it. When I'm on the road, you know, like you took that clip, you know, say what I said in that clip.
You're who said that? It was something about, you know what, and I didn't understand it. Maybe you could explain it to everybody. It was, I am from Dayton, Ohio, home of aviation and Paul Lawrence Dunbar?
Yes, I say that when I'm on the road doing my road concerts, and I say it just before the encore number. And many times I guess they would prefer I not say anything or anything like that, but I always get the microphone and I say, I'm from Dayton, Ohio, the home of aviation and Paul Lawrence Dunbar. So I say that regardless wherever I go.
And who's Paul Lawrence Dunbar? I'm not familiar.
You don't know who Paul Lawrence Dunbar is?
Well, I do know what aviation is.
Okay. Paul Lawrence Dunbar is a poet. And, he's, you know, someday I'll pick you up and I'll take you over to the Paul Lawrence Dunbar house.
Okay.
Because I'm a big, big fan of the Paul Lawrence Dunbar house. They do a lot of work over there, good work over there. But anyway, back to Dan McDowell, and we're talking about his broadcasting background. So before coming to Dayton, where were you?
I was in Youngstown, Ohio, working in Youngstown. Actually, I was working in Warren, Ohio, for the same radio station that one of your crew here was working at. But I say Youngstown because it's kind of like a bigger conglomerate up there. Like I said, Youngstown is like Dayton with a bomb hitting it. It's used to be a thriving steel town, and now it's a thriving plywood town. They've got a lot of plywood over a lot of the storefronts and windows and such. So
does the sidewalks roll up at 6 o'clock?
You would wish they would. I think they have the second highest murder rate in the country in Youngstown. So it's something to hang your hat on, I suppose, if you live there. So I was so anxious to get out of Youngstown and come here. But before that, I worked in Cleveland, on a sports radio station for a couple of years. Like I said before, I worked then in Zanesville on a morning radio show. I worked in Marietta. I worked in Athens. You know, all like you said before. There's no straight line to get where you're going. It's all over the place, and now here I am in Dayton.
So, what do you think you'll be here for some time then?
Sure. Like I said, I love Dayton.
So you'd like to just stay here and for 10, 20 years then?
I would not object to it.
Okay.
You know, things are up in the air. You never know what's going to happen in your life. If I end up staying here, if I end up moving somewhere else, obviously I've not been averse to move so far. You would move, wouldn't you? I mean, if the national talk show rep, whoever that is, calls and says, let's go, William, let's come on up to Chicago, and we'll still let Dayton see your show, but it'll be national. You'd love to do that, wouldn't you?
I would consider that initially, but
maybe.
then,
I don't know.
but what I would do is I would do that temporarily until it got into syndication and was up and running really well, and then I would move full production back to Dayton.
Really? Well, that's what Phil Donahue said too, and he never did.
Well, but see, Phil Donahue is different because Phil Donahue was from Cleveland. He's from Cleveland, you know. He didn't have a vested interest in Dayton. I grew up in Dayton. I was born at the Miami Valley Hospital, you know. So this is home for me. And, you know, a lot of the viewers say what they like about me is that this midwestern person with this cosmopolitan charm or something. And I think that's a part of who I am and part of what the show sort of stands for, and I think that if I move to another geographic place, I might lose some of that Midwestern charm.
See, the thing about your show is, and it's like I want our radio show to be, is it is not like anything else that's on the TV. That's why I said before, you're flipping through, you have to stop. It's not your regular, well, here's a couple of guys talking about politics, or, well, I mean, there is no regular show where the host in the tuxedo is singing supercalifragilistic. You know what I mean? There is no regular show where that always happens.
It is sort of different.
You could be doing interviews, you could be reading letters, you could be singing a song. I mean, you never know what's going to happen on the William Pace Show.
It's an interesting mix of various things going on. Tell me, what are some of the funniest things that have happened to you on the air?
Besides William Pace coming on the air?
I didn't realize I was so hilarious, but I was on there. But anyway, what are some of the interesting things that have happened to you on the air?
I wish I would have prepped for this.
Oh, okay. I'll give you a moment to think about that question then.
Okay, let me think while I give you a little something. Now, when you were on our radio show, you came in with a litany of prizes or little gifts that you gave me throughout the show. Mystery
gifts,
Right, and you were on for an hour. Since I'm only on for 20 minutes, I only brought you one gift.
Oh, you brought me something.
So, it is, I should let the viewers know that William Pace has been working out lately and trying to lose a few pounds. I've been too. I'm too fat, although you say you want to get to my size. So I brought you what is just a single XL. Not a double XL, which you might wear now. But a single XL 1290 WHIO T-shirt.
Well, thank you.
So you have to work hard to fit into this.
To grow into this.
And I would like to issue some kind of a challenge or get some kind of a setup here. Maybe we'll set it up off the air that the day you can fit into this, we'll do this show again.
It's a deal.
How about that?
It's a deal.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Everybody watching the show, everybody cheer for William Pace and losing weight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
People are on their couch right now going, oh, okay.
Thank you. Are your parents pretty supportive of your work? What did they say about you in broadcasting?
Yeah, my mom's real supportive. My parents are supportive. Whatever I want to do, they tell me to go ahead and do. That's the thing. I was happy that I didn't have parents that would shove me into sports or football or something I didn't want to do. In fact, my dad encouraged me to quit football because he says most of the people that were his age at that time that he knew that played high school football couldn't walk straight anymore. So I was so happy that I didn't have to go practice for 4 hours a day in the summer because my dad wanted me to quit football and let me do whatever I want.
What kind of kid were you when you were growing up?
Fat. I don't know.
I mean, were you someone that your folks would have to have said, I told you to turn that music down?
Probably just in my headphones though, because I would have the headphones on so loud, be listening to something I liked, that they would yell at me to turn that down because they could hear it from the next room, and it was in my headphones. But I'll tell you one thing that's interesting regarding that. Excuse me, William. Is, I don't know if you feel this way, but the reason I like radio is that you can create something in your mind. I used to love to listen to the radio and listen to music. And I know you grew up with, or you talked on our radio show about different music influences that you had, and so I'm sure that you laid around the house listening to music all the time. But I used to love to listen to music, and you'd close your eyes and you'd have your own video, and it'd be different maybe every time. The song, whatever the song meant to you, wasn't necessarily what the writer or whoever was singing it meant, but it would mean something to you, and it means something different to everybody that was listening to the song when you lie there and listen to it. So when MTV came out, and it came out when I was, I don't know, maybe in high school, MTV first came out, I didn't like it, and I don't like it to this day, because then they forced you to think of something. Then every time you saw, anytime you listened to Michael Jackson's Thriller, that's what you saw in your head. You saw him walking along and that, you know, in the costumes and all that. You didn't make your own video anymore. So, sorry to bash TV a little bit, but as far as the radio show, that's why I like doing that kind of thing, because you can, everybody gets the different visual in their head. And in fact, even like playing the Who Said That, the William Pace soundbite, everybody hears you, but until they tune in, they all have a different picture of what you look like. So I think that's interesting.
Tell me, who are some of your idols?
Some of my idols.
People that inspired you. Who are some of the people who inspired you to be in broadcasting?
That's hard to say. I suppose just really a professor in college that I had once was a kind of a big inspiration, only because he didn't inspire me to be in broadcasting. He inspired me to be in what I wanted to be in. And so I guess I would say that same thing about my parents. So I guess they could be my idols, although I've never sat and thought about it too long. But just someone who didn't encourage me to be in broadcasting, but I respond better to people who encourage me to do anything. And no matter what, whether people were telling you you could or you couldn't.
Last, I want to ask you one question, and you know, I'm very concerned about the youth today, and I think because they really are our future, the youth. What can we do to instill more self-esteem into our youth today?
You know what? I think that we can not worry about trying to instill more self-esteem. Personally, I know a lot of people want to do things and say, because I actually got kicked off the air in Athens once, kicked off the air because I was talking about a rival team, and I said, we're going to play the scummy Trimble Tomcats tonight. And someone called from that school and said, you're keeping us down. You're saying we're scummy, and we're not, you're not promoting a positive image of the community. So I think you should stop worrying about what image everybody is promoting and work on yourself instead of worrying about trying to be positive all the time. Try to be positive within yourself more.
Just be a good human being then.
Just be good. I mean, live your life like William Pace, and and you will come out on top.
Okay, thanks a lot, my buddy, for coming on tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it.
And I get the chocolate?
And I have a box of Esther Price
All right.
Fine chocolates. Thank you so much.
Thanks, William.
The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on The William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present The William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest.
Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you.